Hi, we're going to talk about presenting the pencil today. This is something that I see that ruins a lot of car deals. I'm going to tell you a little bit about kind of how things have been done in the past, and then I'm actually going to challenge you, and a lot of people will disagree with this, on how things have been really successful for me with today's customers, 2015. Okay, so in the old school ways, when I got in the business 16 years ago, it was kind of taught like this. The manager gives a proposal, okay, that's what the numbers need to be that we got to sign the customers up with. And I take that piece of paper in, and what happens is when I lay that down, guess what I do? The first person to talk loses is what I was taught. So I say $5.99 a month, Mr. Customer, we're $2,000 down, sign here. I'll be quiet, I set my piece of paper on the desk, I lay my pen down, and then it's just silence. And as the silence sits there, guess what happens? I believe the customer feels like that's the time to chime in for a better deal. I really believe it. So I got to thinking, I said, what if we don't allow the customer an opportunity to chime in for a better deal? What if we don't? Would a lot of them just accept it because they felt like the payment were going to go up? Maybe. The deal is that, look, 90% of selling is people knowledge. The last 10% is product knowledge. So one of the things that I know is that you must know people. And people, it's a psychology, right? The way that we present something is the way they perceive it. If I ask you 3 questions, right? You'll most likely answer the last question that I asked, even though that I asked you 3. Why? Because people are programmed to answer what it is that you ask them. So what I did is that I took kind of the 16 years in the business and I decided to change some things. And guess what happened? It's worked out tenfold for me. And let me explain why. First of all, I call this knee to knee before I get into presenting the pencil. This cross the desk stuff that goes on in stores, unacceptable. Here's what I want you to do. If your chair's over here and their chair's over here and there's a table and you're presenting it across like this, stop it. Get knee to knee with your customers. It's harder for them to tell you no. And guess what happens? When you walk into that, guys, I've got great news. Grab your chair, pull it around the table, and get knee to knee with them. I promise you, your closing ratio will go up 50%. Just get knee to knee without anything else. So I'm telling you, write this down, knee to knee every single time. It's hard for them to stand up and blow out on you when they're sitting knee to knee with you. It is. But when you're across the desk, it seems like a negotiation. When you're knee to knee, guess what? It sounds like let's do it or work it out. I promise you it'll change things. So try that for me. Presenting the pencil, what I want you to do is this. So when I go in to present the pencil, right, I actually do a confusion tactic to give them something else to think about other than the numbers, to maybe just accept it and say, you know what, honey, we did realize the payment was going to go up. Okay, well, boom, then they close down. So it would go something like this. Hey guys, I got great news. With $5.99 a month and $1,000 cash down, I apologize, I forgot to ask you and your family. When would you like to set your first payment due? Maybe towards the beginning of the month, the middle of the month? What's going to work better for you guys? And now as you stop, guess what? What are you thinking about right now? When you want the payment due? You're not really thinking about the numbers. Now, if the numbers are so astronomically high that they can't accept it, they're going to say, whoa, Andy, there's no way I can afford that. Well, guess what happens? I understand. And then I'll go into overcoming objections. But a lot of the times people say, probably towards the middle of the month. Okay, so you're thinking more like the 15th or the 20th. What's going to work better for you? Probably about the 20th. Okay, awesome. Just give me a signature right here, Mr. Customer. I'm going to let my boss know you like your payment due on the 20th. Thank you so much for your business. Let me get a copy of your driver's license and insurance. What happened? Did I give him an opportunity to negotiate? No. Guess what? I want to tell you this. 50% of the times I have my customers close on the first pencil. Look, 2005, cars were 15 grand, payments are $300 a month. Today's times, they're 30 grand. I'm just saying the same car, payments are 500. Payments are going up. Customers know payments are going up. But guess what? If we give them an opportunity to negotiate, they're going to take it. So what I want to do is take that equation out, and I want to do this. Sit down with them, get knee to knee, pull my chair around, say, guys, I got great news. $5.99 a month and $1,000 down. I apologize. I forgot to ask you. When would you and your family like your first payment due? Towards the beginning of the month? Middle of the month? What's going to work better for you guys? It's over. Memorize that. Try it. It's a word track that's changed my life. It's allowed me to close more customers on the first pencil. I've shared it with other men. I've seen them close more customers on the first pencil. Try it. Go out today, and guess what happens? It'll work. I'm going to talk about one last thing here, okay? This is the time of the presentation. So basically, my little presentation was probably 15 seconds. $5.99 a month, sign here. Guess what? 4 seconds. But I apologize. I forgot to ask you and your family, when did you want to set your first payment due? Towards the beginning of the month, the middle of the month? What's going to work better for you guys? 11 seconds. So I want to ask you this. What are you more focused on, the 4 seconds of conversation or the 11 seconds of conversation? The 11 seconds. See, customers are programmed, right, to respond by the way you present something. So try presenting the pencil this way, and I promise you this, look, guess what? Instead of dead silence, which is, I feel awkward anyways, but time for them to chime in for a better deal, we've completely skipped it. And we basically just have assumed and really not put any assumption that they would even be concerned with the numbers. Have I showed I'm concerned with the numbers? No. The only thing I'm concerned with is when you want your first payment due. Try it, guys. I promise you it'll change your life.